Today we want to go a little off script, and we've talked about mysticism, spirituality, your destiny. And today we're going to call it the oversoul, which is a presence about you like an eggshell type thing, egg-shaped type thing, that you'll feel all of your life if you get very, very quiet. And it involves your particular destiny of this particular lifetime, even though as a spiritual person, as we've always said, we're always in awe of and enamored of and aware of a divine presence that's so delicate, so pure, so endlessly innocent and sweet, and yet it is the divine presence through us all forever. And in that regard, the idea that we've always spoke of, that we're here, it's a way station through eternity, but it is a hell. This was never intended. What seems to be the world, pain, trauma, is infinitely the opposite of the very beginning touchstone of being aware of God. And in that regard, enlightenment, we've said during these sessions, means never that I'm going to be enlightened and leave the world, and that is utter insanity in a spiritual sense. That doesn't happen. Enlightenment means disappearing through all of this, and in our heart, taking all that we love, all those we care for and respect, all that are sane with us into this overriding sweetness that I'll call the oversoul. I had a friend in India maybe 55 years ago, and she was born again around here, maybe around 2000, and I brought my friend Vencel Rinpoche to her birth. And now she's a young lady, very, in every way, in every regard, brilliant, capable, and I know in her life now she's going through a big travail about what to do, where, not getting anything out of life. She's completely happy, takes care of. She has a lovely friend who is, I believe, was her husband, who was my teacher in India, and my buddy and everyone's teacher, Baba Bedi. He was a beautiful, beautiful man. We'd go to his home in New Delhi and sit there, and he'd reach out and hold your hand. I was with his buddy for many years, and so they all knew each other, and he would hold your hand. And then his gift was, he had every gift, but all the idea of the Americans or English, they went through there and go there, and they knew he was there, and he was a holy man, and he'd hold your hand, and for a few seconds, just a quiet, a little sweet quiet, and then he'd expound upon your last lifetime, what happened, who you were, and it would always connect so beautifully, because it led you into the big question in your life was wide open then, and you felt a path to the future. And I remember Baba called me a Bodhisattva, and I'm like, oh, that's good. And so I know him now, and his wife, Frida, she was a translator for the Karmapa, the Tibetan, the great, great, great holy man and teacher, and she was in charge of all these nunneries for Tibetans, and she was the teacher for all the young lamas, and she had so much meaning. And you understand, they had 100,000, they had 1 million Tibetans killed in the last 10 years, and I got there, and very deep, serious stuff. I met her up in the orphanage in Talopa's cave, and she's the only person I ever met that I didn't know she was enlightened, because she was so busy. She was every moment was calculated and disciplined, and the monks come up, she'd tell them what to do, where to go, and then she'd get back on her bicycle and go down wherever she'd go to get to a bus, to get to wherever, to do her other duties. And so she had so much meaning that you couldn't tell how enormously great she was spiritually, because she was not even here. She just so completely clear what she had to do in the next step, the next step. And now that she's in her mid-20s, she doesn't know what to do, because and for me, looking at her, she's she has so much within her to do, and she's trying to make a career beginning, and of course, she's excellent at it, but not happy. So for any of us to be happy, we have to include all that is in front of us to complete, to fulfill, to finish, to educate, to heal, to address, to teach. We're here to care for all the people in the world, and every animal, every squirrel, every bird that flies. We're here to free the spirit that animates us in that deepest spiritual sense to a higher way, a better way. The pure light, the silent light, the kind light. The light that we are as spiritual presences. We're not this person in this world. God did not create this. For mystical, spiritual, we have these apparitions, we have these enormous illuminations, divine visions, all throughout life, don't we? It's different at different times. I know recently a friend of mine and myself, I had terrible physical problems, beyond belief, but I just kept going, go home, and I'd be in shock, and now most of them are healed. But during this time, I was carrying the case of so many people, so many didn't know what I was doing, except I'd have these continuous visions through the center of it, and I wouldn't let anyone that I work around or with during the day see what I'm going through, and it didn't matter because that wasn't me, this physical part. Does that make sense? So all through the center of it, I was carrying the load of all that I could and all that I could hold on to, mostly of those 90% of people around us who don't have a clue. But you have a clue, don't you? Don't we? Isn't it time to end the madness? We are the oversoul. We'll visualize like an egg-shaped sense around us, which is not. It's just the isness, where we're as sound as the ocean floor. We're a presence, a delicateness, a sweetness, the thing you feel when you hold your child, or hold the hand of the one you love, or look at a sunset, or cry in your heart for love. What we're talking about is, my friend Frida's, it's a mother's love. But it expands through the living ethers. This mother's love, you're not going to fail, and you know that, so you take on everything. My guess is 4% of people are illumined, and over the next 20 years or so, this will seem to disappear, but it just won't be here anymore. And who cares? Who needs it? When you care deeply enough for the one you love, your mom, your babies, and all the higher principles and experiences of love, you'll feel Him, the only God. And you, His very bright light. We're here to what Baba called the Bodhisattva is a person who's just willing to take on the whole thing. It's not the classic Buddhist idea of, I'll live for endless lifetimes and heal all that are, this ends today. It's kind of biblical, wouldn't you say? And if you believe in God, don't you know that this is true? You're not taken in by the everyday meanderings of lesser thought, are you? You know who you are and what this is. You're filled of light and kindness and wonder, and a depth of bearing, of seriousness. Not just that you'll overcome, you'll heal, you'll teach, you'll direct, you'll redirect. And you look the devil in the eye, and he will flee from you. This world is a substratum of hell. All of us who have these mystical experiences see it this way. All of us, don't we? But if we're around people, they all think it's real. We're going to go on. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Well, they're not going to get anywhere. And they are truly evil. I've been doing depossession for 60 years, and when you see the actual devil himself behind this, you'll know what to do. You know how real it is. And it's not from being tough, it's from being completely kind and aware and delicate. You won't be moved. When I work with combat veterans originally, then everyone you sit there quietly, you don't react, you don't think, you don't feel, you're just simply there for the person. And the more you let them expand upon what's wrong in their life and acknowledge it as it goes on, the more open and free they feel. They just want to express what they're holding on. That's why a mom will listen to her child. It's simply, but this is taken, extrapolated out to do this for the whole world. So when I have someone who has a being within them, it's called non-evaluative therapy. Originally it has to be up to them to approach you, and then as soon as they do that, and they're safe, then you can begin the process. Just by being there, listening, guiding it with a soft touch, and you never react to it. You never give the devil his due, you just, got it. The devil can't possibly handle that. Its fear and its entire being is fear, is being found out. It wants to catch people in between things, even though the devil created the bodies and the people. You see what I'm saying? It gets complex in that sense, but it's not. If we're mystical, we feel this presence like my hand of Baba Bedi, and just Now, I'm a spiritual person, you were spiritual all your life, and we feel this, don't we all day? And then we have to catch our breath to deal with this situation, that circumstance, or work, or family. And yet in our heart, we just want the one we love forever. We want our mom to not feel pain. You understand? We know who we owe everything to, don't we? And we're going to pay them back with kindness on a geologic scale. Mom's going to get everything. Dad's going to feel that we're finally safe. We're here in the old golden land, aren't we? You are a divine presence. You're made of light and air and kindness and joy and wonder and wisdom. And everything about your sensibilities is a transparency beyond what this world seems to be. That the distant cosmos in the material world is nothing. It's just that's the projection that the devil created to catch you off guard, to make you think that's real. And it's not. And if you look right through it, it will never again be on your back, will it? Again, just know that the devil fears one righteous person more than 1,000 blind believers. So if you're very quiet, very calm, don't react, no matter what it is. It's like my buddy Greg here, he's a 10th degree martial artist, students for 50 years, and he's the strongest, toughest, fastest man I've ever known. And even if you're going to get him in a fight on the streets, you're not going to see him blink even before, to the very split second. It's going to happen so quick and so fast and so powerful, because his body has a muscle memory that if you're around all great champions of any sport, they have a body awareness that we can't imagine. And you've done these mystical exercises over a period of years, the devil can't be around you. And when we, as 30, 60 million of us, practice these together. We don't have to go anywhere and see anything. We don't need the computer, the handheld slave device. We don't need it. We'll sense and feel each other, and we're here in the promised land now, today, tonight, this evening early. And we'll be aware of him, the only God. And you, his favorite son, his daughter, his heart, his soul, his mind, his beingness. You are God's presence. The world never was. Everything material is this apparition, and if we give it nothing quietly, this sense of golden illumination will be ours, ever and always. I wrote a book called After Time. Susan George put it together. Great little genius. And if you want to know everything that's going to be happening with you and around the world and all the circumstances of the world, it's in there in a very poetic, sweet way. And you'll have a friend with you through this journey, and there'll be no questions, only answers. Don't worry about what's going on in the world out there. Yes, it's as horrible as it ever could be. Maybe worse. And maybe not. Maybe that's the way it always is. Because it never was. And when you get quiet, it never was. The devil never feared, never brought fear to an honest heart and soul, did he? I've been in crazy circumstances, we all have, like a mother's love, my friend here, and you don't question the fear, you're going to protect your child, aren't you? And only when we grow up do we realize what our parents gave. Imagine what our Father gave to our parents for us. God will be with us every moment of this very fast journey into light and glory and kindness, the kind light. So whatever detail or subtlety we need to have, to learn, to experience, it will come to us and come to us and come to us through this battle. Battleground Earth. It's time we clean it up. It's our neighborhood, isn't it? God will be with you every moment in the most subtle ways, and you'll learn inescapably that is our consciousness and is our self and our soul through all this, and there'll be no questions, no answers, just an isness. Isn't it you? God bless your heart and soul, and your courage, and your mom and dad and babies, and Zachary the cat. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Mr. Skolta.